Hey guys, I sound like a pubescent boy. Pubescent boy. It's not working. I think I have laryngitis or something like it. I don't really remember being sick before, which is usually how you get laryngitis. I have a slight concern that it's COVID, but it probably isn't, considering I tested negative and I've been around people that tested negative. So it would be interesting to see how it snuck in there. But yeah, this sucks. This is gonna be a short video. Yesterday was insane. We got to do the geology with a local geologist, and it was really cool. I didn't know how into Christmas Iceland got, but it's really big, so that was interesting. I gave a presentation, which was my first presentation in a foreign country, so I am now an international speaker. Saw some more Northern Lights. Oh my god, you guys. I think I should wrap it up. There's a lot to say. There's a lot more than just this, but I can't say it. So if there's something you take away from this, traveling with me is always an adventure. I always have weird things go wrong, like this. It's life with Bailey for sure. This is like, yeah, Bailey always has something weird happen. So hopefully I'm better soon. I'm gonna go have some tea now. Looking forward to the adventures of today. This is my last day in Húsavík, so I have to make the most of it and not say anything. Alright guys, we'll see you later. I'm gonna go have a very silent, non-talking day. It was so pretty, but it was so cold. I was like, I'll go outside real quick. It was way too cold. Look how pretty it is.
Oh, wow.
Guys, so spoiler alert, my voice isn't better yet. I was hoping I'd be able to do this. Oh, it's coming back a little. I need a t-shirt that says, I went to Iceland and all I got was laryngitis. It was a good day. It was kind of like a low-key hangout day. We had some presentations in the morning, and Zara went, and oh, I was so proud of her. She did a really good job. Her presentation was far more thought out than mine, so. After that, we went to the geological site, kind of. It was like really close to Húsavík, and we went down kind of near, like down near the beach-ish. Iceland, from a geological perspective, is one of the most interesting places on the earth, and there's a lot of really insane eruptions that could happen, you know, that are overdue to happen in Iceland that could really mess stuff up. So I learned a lot. I was talking to Zara, and I found that I love geology and volcanism in Hawaii at ICs, but I got like a snapshot of Hawaiian volcanism, and Iceland showed me that there's so much more, and there's so many other types that happen here that I'm really interested in. So I kind of mentioned this, but yes, my passion for geology was rekindled, resparked. Anyways, who knows if I'll go on to get a degree, but I know that I am a hobby geologist. Oh, this is the other thing. The winds today were insane. They were so, it was so windy. Like, couldn't open the door windy. It was crazy. So Iceland doesn't have any roads in the middle of it. It's all along the outside, because the middle is like really, really bad, really snowy, very unpredictable. Even though Reykjavik to Húsavík is not that far distance-wise, you have to go all the way around the outskirts. And the wind was so bad that the roads got closed, and it's the only road, right? So there's a group of 4 people that were driving from Húsavík to Reykjavik, which is about a 7-hour drive, 6-hour drive maybe. They had to turn around. It was kind of like this afternoon, we're like, bye guys. And then they had to turn around, and it was like a surprise bonus day with all my space family in Iceland. So guys, I know that sucks for you, but I was pretty stoked. If you guys end up seeing this, I felt very blessed that you guys got to stay an extra day, even if that meant some of you had to miss your flights. All of us had it tomorrow. So tonight we watched a movie called Moon and had pizza, and we went to Geology again, and it was so much fun. But yeah, it was one of those like hangout last night vibes, and it was absolutely amazing. But yeah, I have a lot more to talk about, but I'm dying. My throat hurts. I did take a COVID test. I think I said that it's negative. I actually have it right here. Negative. I'm almost done packing. I got my jacket back there and a few other last minute things, but yep, I leave for Reykjavik tomorrow. I'm really sad to be leaving Húsavík. It's a bummer, but I learned a lot this trip. I can't wait to come back and learn more. And I really got like another piece of my space family here. I'm so honored right now. I'm so blessed. Okay, sorry, I'm getting all sentimental now. Last night, just me and the wind. It's really bad. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. Think about how lucky I am. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Can't promise I'll have a voice, but bye.
Wow. Hey guys. This is it. Here I am. And I've been putting off doing this like final video. I said it was because of my throat and my voice. That's what I said it was because of. And it's very true. As you can hear, I'm still recovering. I feel fine. Well, when I got back, I was super tired, but like from like an illness thing, I don't feel sick, but my voice is shot. I'm really sad that I wasn't able to talk more and like, you know, like give these kind of videos more in the moment because of my voice. It just hurt and I was exhausted and I couldn't do it. Yeah, let's see. So I went into Reykjavik by myself. I learned that Reykjavik means stormy bay. So Reykja, that part is the like stormy and then the Vik is the bay. And that's because it's geothermally warmed, right? So the water is a lot warmer, and then when the cold air comes in and like it creates this like misty, cloudy, foggy kind of thing in the bay, in the harbor. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It is so cool. So I got into Reykjavik and I was planning on being there with some friends, but some stuff happened. It's always fun to go explore a city by yourself, right? Like I found a bookstore, which was really cool. So it's just, I mean, it's always fun to get lost in a city, right? Like, and not actually lost, I knew where I was, but we went out for sushi that night. Dude, did you guys know Iceland has some of the best sushi? Like, oh my gosh, I mean, it makes sense. It's all super fresh, right? But like, it was good sushi, very good sushi. And then the next day, Mark, one of the other guys from the conference, he's in charge of Chill Ice, which is an analog in Iceland. They had their first 2 missions last summer and they're looking to start up again soon. So he was gonna take us out to where the Chill Ice actual site is because it's an analog inside of a lava tube. We went and the road was closed because it was like straight ice.
I do think that if they are already putting up a sign like don't go there, we probably shouldn't try it.
So we were like, alrighty then, never mind. And so he kind of took us a little bit south and we walked around some lava fields there, which was just walking around in an empty lava field in Iceland in December, right? Like you just feel like you're one of very few people in this world that have been in that location, right? Like it was just unreal. It was such a cool feeling, marching around, the cold air hitting you. So that was really cool. We saw some lava domes, which are different than lava tubes. It's kind of like, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like if all the lava kind of pools in one place, it creates a lava dome and it kind of pushes stuff up and stuff. No lava tubes, they were too far of a walk. We were tromping around and it was getting cold and I had to get to the airport. Yeah, so I left at like early in the morning to go do this and just kind of went straight to the airport. I had such a long day, I was exhausted. But yeah, so we hang out up and down around the 0 degrees Celsius, and it's very windy. It's very windy there. I can't believe how windy it was there. Like, I was like, you have to like lean into the wind sometimes, yeah. So kind of what happens is it'll like thaw, right? And it'll kind of become more of the water than the ice, and then the wind comes in and kind of smooths it all out, and then it freezes. Like, because you're hanging out right at that 32 degrees, 0 degrees Celsius, like, so it just like sheets of ice, and that's, I'm talking the road, like this is what we're driving on. And like, so when we got out and walked around, it was just like slippery. And I can't believe the cars, I have a lot of respect for Icelandic drivers. They know what they're doing. And as a result, if they say the road is closed, that road is closed. Do not try to, if they can drive on ice without batting an eye, like an ice skating rink ice, going whatever, however fast they go, but they're like, this road is closed, you turn around. You do not go down that road. Like I said, it was really in the middle of nowhere, so Mark brought us to this like, he was like, this is the cutest grocery store you'll ever go to. And I was like, oh, this is super cute. He's like, I doubt it's open. And I was like, okay, you know, makes sense. Small town, small grocery store. It's like a hut, guys. It's like literally like a gazebo. Like what you think of when you think of like a gazebo in a movie. It's like hexagonal. And I was just like, this is their grocery store. Like, I can't even, like, it was more of just like, you know, like a stand that you would pick stuff up at. But it's Iceland, so the stand had to be inside. It was just a cool experience. Like I said, people that go to Iceland, they usually probably go to Reykjavik, right? And go do the touristy things. And I did some very not touristy things. I did a lot of things that even people who've been to Iceland or maybe even live in Iceland have not seen all that stuff. Especially if we went into the Midland, because not a lot of people go there. So it was just, I felt very privileged to kind of see into this world. But I'm really excited to go do geology training and go through this again when it's not in the snow, because that's when it's really going to feel like the moon or Mars. You know, I could kind of see the lava rocks, I could see the formations and stuff like that, but it was all covered in snow. So I felt like I was on Mars in the winter time. Right? I felt like I was in the lunar winter if either of those places had snowfall. I was going to show you guys this rock that I was allowed to take back. Look at this. Look at this Iceland moon rock. It's not a moon rock. Orly and a couple of other people took us to this like really cool geological site, but this is one of the rocks I took back from it. And so what you can see is this side is smooth and black and what you kind of expect. But if you flip it over, there's all this stuff. And if like, I don't know how close I have to get, you can kind of see what's going on here. This is a good one. It's a seashell. There's all sorts of these fossilized seashells in there. And if you look, you can kind of see that this is like plain, oh, plain seashells. And there's layers of these, like it's seashells, plain, seashells, plain. And what's happening here is that like the land moves, right? And glaciers melt and freeze and the ocean level goes up and down, and that makes sense. And this has been what's been going on for millions of years, right? The coolest part I found about it is that the land itself goes up and down. The way we think about land is it's just here, right? Like the land, you can't change that. This is a continent, this is an island, like this is how it goes. But kind of what's happening is because it's along this fault and you've got all this like magma and stuff, it builds pressure underneath, right? And what happens when you have pressure, you know, think of it like you are taking in a big deep breath. It's not quite like that, because the reason we have pressure there is because of the heat. So when you have hotter gas, you need more volume. So when the magma comes up, and so as it expands, because that's what things do when they're hot, anything, that's what it does. When it's hot, it expands. When it gets cold, it contracts. So as it gets hotter, it expands. And think about if this is like the island, right? And you've got this like magma chamber underneath, and our magma chamber is expanding, it has to push the crust up, right? And then we have this big eruption over here, right? And okay, that was a volcano eruption. And so it's like, oh, okay, and then release, and the whole thing comes back down. And so it's happening. Yes, we have the sea levels going up and down, but also the island is. And so it's going up and below the sea level. So when you've got these like chunks that have no seashell, that was when it was above the land, you know, millions of years ago. Actually, not millions, Iceland's, yeah, but like, you know, a long time ago. And then when you see the seashells, when you see those levels, that's when it was above or below sea level. And so you actually had seashells coming in and stuff. And so this is a really good keepsake for me of like, that was something cool I learned that kind of blew my mind. A lot of Icelandic geology that I learned, and things that happen when the volcano does this. And specifically what I wasn't learning in Hawaii, but I did learn in Iceland, was that glaciers, right? Like how when there's a volcanic event or whatever, you know, this stuff is mixing with glaciers, and obviously we don't have that in Hawaii. So we've got really, really hot stuff and like giant chunks of ice. And when those things kind of mix, you know, sometimes the lava wins, but sometimes the ice wins, which is is like crazy to think about. And so a lot of these things, the formations that we see is when lava hit glaciers. Iceland was super cool. I want to go back. It was amazing. I think what I didn't get to say, because I like the night before I was like, I know this is gonna ignite geology in me again. I know I'm gonna get excited about rocks again. And I was correct. I was so right. I'm all ready to go do a PhD in geology again. It's like reignited in me, and I want to go do that. But part of me is also like, Bailey, let's, take a breath. Let's figure out what you actually like. Lava tubes are cool, but I want to do this chill ice analog now. Yeah, I think it really reawoken that in me, which Hawaii was the first place that I found that, and then coming to Iceland, I was like, yep, still there, still want to do that. So that was really cool. It means I want to go to the moon so that I can continue this geology. I call myself a hobby geologist because I obviously don't have any like educational academia training or anything like that, but I know I'm learning so much about it that it's so cool. I'd love to take that to the moon with me. Being there with the Apollo astronauts, like that's where they were, that was kind of, I was very proud, I guess, is the best way to put it. I was very proud. And it was great because all the Apollo astronauts obviously were guys. By happen chance, not like we're trying to do this, but we only had girls. It's one of those that it made me feel like, men are obviously welcome, males, females, it doesn't matter. But we happen to have only females, and that was just like, see, like we are coming along, right? Like as long as you are qualified and you want to do this, you're allowed to do this. So it's opening up a lot, and it made me really proud. I hope I can carry the torch of being a female moonwalker, female woman in space in general. But like, yeah, that was really, that one gave me chills a little bit. And I was completely right that Iceland totally ignited this passion in me again. So I'm so thankful I got to go. Exhausted, but thankful. Seeing the Northern Lights, I think I talked about that a little bit, that was on my bucket list, and like I called it my heart bucket list, right? Of like, yeah, of course I want to go do things like travel, and I can't even think of it. Like, I want to go to the Grand Canyon, yeah. I love my job, and I would like to see something I work on go into space, and like me be a huge part of that. There's all these things that's like, yeah, I'm going to be working towards these things, but then there's the heart bucket list of like, for me, I have to see Northern Lights before I die. I have to go to Ireland, and I have to go to the moon. Those are the things. And I have to see the thin blue line. Oh my gosh, I have to. And then see the moonrise on the moon, right? And I'm gonna cry. If I get to do those 5 things, that's a really cool life. But of those 5 things I just listed off, I just checked one of them off. Like I saw the Northern Lights, and it got really real. Like if you keep going down this path, you'll be able to do all 5 of those things. And that was like an emotional like realization. Obviously, like I'm all choked up about it. Like it was, and the Northern Lights are nothing. I mean, okay, they're beautiful. I don't think people get this worked up over Northern Lights, honestly. But it's because I put such an emphasis on it, and then I did it, right? Like I found a way to go see the Northern Lights, and not just see them, but have this incredible experience around them. As it happens, I start talking about things I'm passionate about, my eyes just kind of leak, so, but it's happening. It's real. I'm doing cool space things. It was really cool. It was an amazing experience. I mean, I have a huge shout out to Orly and Thor and everyone else. Iceland is doing amazing things in the space industry. Iceland was super cool. I want to go back. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'm so glad that I've been able to bring you guys along on this trip too.